Well, moving on, and it's part of the fabric Australian agriculture. And now Elders is marking 185 years. It all began in 1839. Alexander Elder setting sail from Scotland for Port Adelaide to extend the family's merchant and shipping business. In 1863, it started trading as Elders Smith & Co. Fast forward 120 years, Elders IXL was structured into 5 operational groups: pastoral, international, finance, materials and food. The business keeps growing. By 2002, Elders is operating in Japan, Indonesia, China, Germany and Italy, plus 400 locations across Australia. Which brings us to today, celebrating 185 years. Well, let's bring in Mark Allison, CEO and Managing Director of Elders. Mark, it's been an extraordinary history. What do you think has been one of those most defining moments?
Well, I think there's been lots and lots of defining moments. It is quite amazing when you go back 185 years, and there's only a few companies of that vintage in Australia. AACo have got their 200 years coming up this year. But when we look through Elders and Australian agriculture, they've basically run parallel. And so the good times, the bad times, the war times, the peace times. And I think what's been core to Elders through that whole period is just being such an important fabric and DNA of Australian regional rural communities. And that's, I think, through bushfires, floods, through all the ups and downs, Elders has been there.
When we look at, I guess, your involvement with the company, you came on as chairman and CEO about a decade ago,
Yep.
Still reeling from the effects of the GFC. You're really pivotal in turning that ship around.
Yep.
How do you reflect on that time?
Yeah, well, I'm just waiting for my next demotion. I'm not sure where I go next. But,
Well, you have investor meetings on Thursday, so we'll see how we go.
Exactly. I think it's fascinating because our competitors at that time were saying when we were in bad bank, our competitors were saying we just can't kill them. And we had multi-generational clients through wool, through beef, through grain, through cotton, through horticulture, willing us to stay alive in a period where we were really on life support. So I think for me as a member of the team, I think it's heartening to see what we can do for our people in our local communities. Interestingly, I clocked up 10 years as CEO last week, and I was reflecting on the 10 years and thinking of all the wonderful people, wonderful communities, and all the people who've helped and supported us through the bad times, which now allows us to reinvest and help them in the better times.
What's in the future for Elders?
Well, I think...
Is there more room for growth?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've got lots of room for growth, and because we have multi-product and multi-service, like our highest market shares are around 20%, so there's lots of room for growth. And I think for us, 185-year-old company, you've got the wonderful sentiment and legacy, but it also comes with the thought of being old-fashioned and yesterday, and disintermediated in a strategic sense. So we're investing heavily in our transformation with our automated wool facilities, with our systems modernisation program, with our rural product streamline program. And so I think that we'll come out of this bigger, stronger, and with the most trusted brand in Australian agriculture.
Yeah, it's pretty good history, pretty good future. What about yourself? You were due to retire last year, then you got reappointed. Do you plan to stick it out? Will we see you post-June next year?
Well, I think so. I mean, from my viewpoint, I thought 10 years was long enough. You don't want to be that person that hangs around after the event. But the board asked me to stay on, and so and it's an ongoing appointment, so I'm staying on. There's no timeline, and my joke, at least I think it's funny, is that the good news is that in Elders head office there's wheelchair access. So I could be 90 or 95 or 100 and still be there. But we have really great people in the next level in Elders, and we'll have a smooth transition at the right time. But I'm loving it. Australian agriculture is wonderful. Agriculture in itself is highly noble, and we're a critical part of Australia's future.
Now, Mark, I know you're a bit of a muso. Can we expect a Beef 2024 inspired tune?
Yeah, if I can find something to rhyme with Brahmin, there might be a chance. But
Karma?
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Close. It's a hard one, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's like orange, finding something to rhyme with orange, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Good on you. Thank you so much for your time today, Mark. Appreciate it.